flavor to it. And essentially, so I'm a software developer at a bank during the day, but I do a lot of machine learning in the evening. And one of the problems I have is that I work with Jupyter notebooks. So, and one thing is that when I'm doing things like computer vision or any sort of analysis, it usually takes, like, let's say I'm going through like 50,000 images, it'll take me about 6 hours to run that on my laptop. And so what I do is I go on AWS and I use their GPU Spot instances, which allows me to run analysis in 10, 15 minutes, which is much, much better. But the thing is, every time I go on it, I need to set up the whole system, which is I need to run an instance, I need to set up all the software that I need to run on it, and I also need to start a Jupyter Notebook server. And all of that is quite a lot of work, and so I thought a cool thing to do is sort of essentially automate all of that work. And I'll work through what I'd usually do most times. So usually I just go on AWS. I'd say maybe select one of my AMIs, AWS Deep Hub. I actually created that today as my base image. Then I would select a GPU compute instance. I'll go for a P2 large. Then I'd go request spot instance. I'd put my limit price at 40p. And make sure it's in an availability zone where my ABS volume is located. So my hard drive usually has my data on it. Other things I'll do, make sure I enable automatic IP, show my security goods set up, then review, then I do the request. And that's my spot instance launched. Usually I don't get kicked off, so most times I'm lucky. And then I have that going, then what I need to do now is log on to the actual server, then start that all up, start the Jupyter Notebook server. But again, I was saying, how can I automate all of this? Apart from using something like CloudFormation, which would sort of allow you to do that, but it's much, much onerous. I discovered something which quite a lot of you here already know, which is Bottle3, which allows you to do things programmatically. And this is an example. Let's see if I can get it. This is an example of that. You see a lot of errors there happening. And so using Bottle3, I was able to essentially look at how to essentially launch these things automatically. And for instance, this is a script here, how to launch a spot instance using Bottle3. Being able to specify your limit price, being able to specify your security ID, specify the availability zone you want to launch it in, security groups, and that's that bit. And essentially, I should be able to get this to run. Let's try. Code, that seems to execute fine. So if I go here, and I go speed, launch, this might say 0.40 for P, and the AMI I want to launch in this instance is going to be the one I created just now. So that's AWS Deep Hub. Oops, sorry. AWS Deep Hub. Then I want to run with Chris EP. Name, security ID. Security ID is going to be, just 1 second while I retrieve that. So we log spot instances, actually launch it within. So that's my spot instance. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to say view spot requests. It's going to show me the request that I'm making. So that spot request is active. and I can check my responses that I requested ages ago, and it's running. Actually, it's still initializing. It's giving me what I want, which is that's the AWS Deep Hub AMI it's running, which is good. And what I wanted to get was the security group and use that. So I'm going to use Launch Wizard 17. This might actually work. And instance type, so you would choose P2 large, or P2 rather, P2 extra large. And then security group, that's the actual SG. Sorry, 1 second. And availability zone. For this one, I'm going to choose EU West, 1 in Ireland, particularly availability zone C, but that's what in my, let's see if this works. I'm going to get a big error. It's 4.040 class string class. And what doesn't like, it doesn't want to limit price to string. It wants as a string. So 1 second. Let's see if I can get this to work. Let's put it by default.
Hacking it in the demo.
Yeah.
That's it.
Then why not? AWS Deep Hub, not D. It's the AMI. It's actually AMI one something. Sorry about that. So just 1 more second. My AMI. Hopefully this should be it. If not, I'll have to stop. So what happens? Always on the idempotent, inconsistent arguments used. Oh, I think I'm going to have to stop with unsuccessful because this is not successful. So essentially what would happen is after I did that, it actually launches it automatically. I did one successfully, but it's not successful this time. But essentially, the idea is to be able to create a bunch of scripts to allow you to do this automatically and to be able to work. And what you would see eventually is that I would launch something similar to this, which is, it's not connected right now to an instance, but this is like, I do a lot of cargo competitions, and this is a stat oil, iceberg, and ship competition, and some of the analysis I would do. And this is running on, would have run on the TensorFlow backend. And this is what I was hoping to show you later today, but didn't really have enough time. So essentially, I'll do analysis like this to look at, essentially, this is one of the analysis I would do, which is looking at being able to discern between icebergs and ships. And this is running on, I think, this is about 70,000 data points and images where it does a principal analysis decomposition. And it's able to, essentially, it's reducing something from about, it's about 74,000 dimensions down to about 2 dimensions. But yeah, so this is why I needed this set of scripts. So the idea is to create a set of scripts and hopefully use them later on. I've created a GitHub page, but again, I only started this today, and I'm sort of exploring with the script, exploring with Bottle 3 scripting language, and so far it's looking really good. I just need to clean it up. For the future, what I'm hoping to do is get all my scripts working and not failing like it did there, and potentially create sort of like an Angular 2 front end where you sort of input everything you want, and it will just, and what happens is then bring up a page for you to do your experiments on. The reason why it's called FloydHub because it's based on these guys here, a startup here in the UK who do essentially what I'm trying to do, but theirs is essentially they provide the service and they allow you to create projects and data sets and Jupyter notebooks. But the only thing is that it's stuck to their platform, and I prefer to use AWS. I just want to create essentially the same thing they have, but have a system that's out there for other people to use, because there are a lot of people like me who do a lot of data analysis. But yeah, so that's it. Sorry I couldn't show you the code actually working, but I don't know, I'll try and update what I have onto my GitHub, and if you're interested, you can look at it more. But yeah, thanks. Questions?
Yeah, you showed us using this as kind of from within Python as a library. Would you ultimately create a command line interface for that, or a web interface?
It will be a web interface. Yeah. So the idea would be you have a front end and back end server. You could have an Angular 2 front end server, which would then connect to your back end server. So and the back end would be written in Python. That's why I was trying to use Falcon or Flask, and have that using all these primitive commands to actually manipulate and potentially keep in memory the different environments you've set up for either of your experiments. And it could then organically grow from there, the amount of things you'd be able to do. But yeah, no, it's I learned a lot here, to be honest. It's like, especially speaking to you, yeah, thanks again. But yeah, cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.